Fakes left, now taken off. Oh, gonna run for it. They got it. There it goes. The 6 or the 10 to 5. Oh, the play of the year in the NFL.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 17 of the Buds Mafia podcast. Definitely had a very relaxing and stress-free weekend, not having to think about another Game 7. Not Game 1 yet. It's Game 1 tonight. Obviously, when this release, it will already be hopefully 1-0 Toronto, but Game 1 will already be done going on to Game 2. But definitely a more stressless weekend. Just watched a lot of hockey, which is not Toronto, which is awesome. They got it done in Game 6, but we'll get to all that later. We do have a surprising guest who will be coming on later to kind of tell us his thoughts on his favorite team, but we'll get to that shortly. But yeah, Jackson, how was your weekend? How is it being able to not worry about the Leafs for at least one weekend?
Yeah, it was nice. I worked Friday. I went into work early on Friday, and then I worked till like 10:15 because I left a little early because I got there at like 11:40 a.m. So that was long, and then I was at work again Saturday at 6:30 in the morning. And then I took Taylor to the ROM. They have an Auschwitz exhibit going on right now. So we went there. Very informative. I keep trying to figure out how to tell people about how it was, because to say it was really cool.
Yeah, it's tough wording.
Verbiage, so but it was really good. It was really, really interesting. They had real artifacts, as well as like some reproduction pieces. It was really interesting. And then Sunday I went golfing with my dad. Played pretty well. I shot 86. Didn't play too horrible. But yeah, other than that, I did nothing. We went over to dinner with my dad yesterday, watched a bit of the Jets game, and then came back and watched the rest of the crazy finish to that game, and yeah, that's about it.
What did I do? I was going to say, what did I do Friday? Friday went to Dave & Buster's, which was fun. I love Dave & Buster's. I try and go there a lot. I went there with some of the other guys and their wives. Then Saturday, a bunch of us went to Jerseys. We played some pool, watched the Dallas-Colorado game, which is... We'll get into it, but it's probably the best first round of hockey I've ever seen in my life.
Crazy.
We'll dive into each series, kind of how our predictions went. A lot of them didn't go too well. We predict. Yeah, I think you did better than me just because you had Florida and I didn't. But yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into the madness, and then we'll kind of do our predictions for round 2. But we're gonna break down all the playoffs. We're gonna talk a little bit about the awards as well. Sorry, I'm just texting our special guest to hop on whenever he wants. Yeah, I'll talk about the awards. All the nominees have come out besides the Rookie of the Year. The draft lottery is tonight, so when this drops, you'll already know who won the draft lottery, but nonetheless, very exciting. But to talk about who's coming on, one of the biggest Oilers fans I've ever met. He's a diehard Oilers fan. He was ripping on us because we both picked LA in 7, right? I just thought injuries, how LA was playing, their home record, everything. I thought LA in 7, we both did it. And he said if they win, if Edmonton comes back and wins, he's going to come on the podcast and absolutely rip us. So he's logging in now.
He can rip me.
I don't know what to expect.
He can't really rip me. I don't know much about hockey. I'm going to play that card. No big deal. He
even said, he's like, hey, when Jackson said it, for sure, he's like, he gets it. He's just another mainstream media guy, just going with it. But he said he took more offense when I said it because I understand how the dominance of what the two guys have done. But again, it's just injuries and everything else. I thought it made sense. And after going to Game 3, I was pretty confident with that take.
Dude.
And then they just turned it completely around.
After Game 1, when it was 5-0, I was going to text him.
Yeah, so he's going to talk about, again, he's one of the biggest Oilers fans I know, or at least in kind of southern Ontario. We went to high school with him. We're still waiting him to hop on. I guess his Wi-Fi isn't doing too well.
Dick on the go.
But yeah. As he comes on, I played crosswinds yesterday. I've never played crosswinds before. I played with Nick, Chris, and Owen. And Chris and Nick had their round 2. They had their round 2 of the match.
That's a tough course for those boys.
It is tough, and they didn't play very well. Chris shot a 14 at one point.
That's
so
course.
match.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said match play. Chris won. I think he won pretty handily. But which is funny. He won match play, but Nick actually, if you count the score, Nick shot better because Nick, his highest score was like an 8 or 9, which is still pretty bad. But like Chris had a couple like 12 or 14 holes. That's why we talk about the double par outs. That's what saves his score, right? So technically, stroke play Nick won, but we said beginning match play is what we're doing. Yeah, Chris. So he's 2-0. I played okay. The front 9 I shot 40, and I was actually playing really well. Then I just blew up on the back, and I think I ended up with like a 93. It was raining. It ended up raining. I'm not excuses guy.
What time?
But it started to rain. It was windy, but I was playing 11:50 tee time.
Oh wow. I teed off at 1 at Mount Nemo, and it spit for a little bit, but we were fine. But with this
I should say rain. It was like spitting for like an hour. It wasn't too bad. But what course? I mean, I want to go back there when it's like sunny. Like, oh, that's a nice ass course.
It's a nice course. It really is. It's the type of course that you got to go with people who play golf.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's a tougher course. It's out at Mount Nemo and Crosswinds. I like Mount Nemo a little bit better because I find it a little bit more like you got to pull almost every club, whether you're playing the blues or the tips. Whereas Crosswinds, like I find it's more driver wedge. But yeah, Crosswinds is where my dad got his hole in one and where I hold out from 150 yards.
Really? What hole what hole did he do a hole in one at?
The third, right along over the water.
Oh, you mean 5?
Or the fifth, yeah.
Really? You hold out that hole?
Is it 5? Because 1 is the par 4. No, it's 3.
The hole 5 is definitely the hole that's over the water. When you drive along Guelph line, it's definitely hole 5. But that hole's sick though.
I hold out from 150 on the next hole after that.
Jesus.
I think you're wrong, but that's okay.
I just played it yesterday. I know I'm not.
No, yeah. Yesterday, I drove the ball really well. I was kind of falling off my irons a bit. But I was like, I hit crazy shots. Like on 8 at Mount Nemo, I landed on a downslope in the rough, and I hit a 9 iron to like 10 feet. And then 9, with shitty dog like right, I hit my 3-wood like 260 yards.
Oh, see if you can figure out the camera. There he is. There he is.
What's up, boys?
The only guy in Southern Ontario who has Oilers in his email account name. But that's why we have him on.
Yeah, man. That's why I took exception when you thought the LA Kings were going to walk over us.
So we already... Mostly Ryan was numb.
Yeah,
I watched it. It was both of you. I mean, you guys weren't alone, so I won't say you guys were, I don't know, the only one saying that.
So we already kind of prefaced what was going on, kind of what your anger towards us was, and kind of our predictions with the injuries and everything. All the media predicted LA, and we actually went to Chuck's recently after that episode dropped, and you just kind of told me why I'm an idiot, and I provingly so. So the floor is yours. I'll let you say what you want to say and kind of get it off your chest.
I've been thinking about this all day. I mean, I told you I've been thinking about this, like, I don't know, since they took a 3-2 lead, and I was pretty sure they were going to close it out at home. I've been thinking about what I'd say and how I would cuss you out. But in all honesty, like, I thought they were done after 2. And they probably should have been. Like, I've never seen, like, we have a group of Oiler fans that we have a text chain with. I've never seen a group of Oiler fans, like, talk about the LA decision-making so much during the series. I thought he was going to get fired on Friday morning. Like, I thought that he'll probably be, I don't know, was he not listed as one of the finalists for Coach of the Year?
He wasn't, but I think most people had him at least top 5. I think St. Louis beat him out for the 3rd spot, but I think most people had Hiller in that top 5's group.
Yeah, like, he was up there. I mean, after the Oilers handled them last year, like, I thought they were going to just, like, rebuild. I mean, it's true. Like, you can deny it. Like, I'm pretty cocky about it, but... Like, it got worse and worse each year, and then this year, like, I thought there was, like, maybe a chance they could beat us, but I don't know.
I was so close on the first game. I was at work, and I got to watch a bit of the game, and when it was 5-0, I texted Ryan. I was like, I'm so close to sending Emerson a text. And what I said to him, I was like, man, I haven't texted Emerson in like 4 years, and it'd be so tough if the first text message was me just ragging the Oilers. And then they came back, but they lost. But yeah.
Yeah, no, the first game was a roller coaster. I know, I probably would have snapped back right away because I would have just waited. I think the first game I had to work in the morning, so I was just like watching the third period in bed. And once they made a 5-2, I was like, okay, this is like, I'm not staying up till 1:30 to watch this. And then it gets to 5-4, 5-5, and then Dino scores. Anyways, we got the job done.
You did.
I mean, as did you guys.
Played Vegas. Yeah, we did too. We'll talk about my predictions for kind of the next round. Like I have Edmonton now. I'm not doubting them again, and I'm more confident about Edmonton beating Vegas than I was Edmonton beating LA. But kind of talk about why we're all idiots and why. Like I think media, like sports, like I think 80 or 90% of them picked LA, and obviously it was injuries was the main thing. LA at home was the main thing. Why are they all stupid? Why are you a genius in front of all of us right now?
I'm not a genius. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because they were my team, but like I did think like I had no idea how they were going to return. They like Connor McDavid and Draisaitl didn't play a game together in the last 17. So like I mean, they have the best duo in the league. They're going to figure it out pretty quickly. But who knew like how they were going to come in? And they came in and they looked terrible. Like it looked like they were playing regular season. And Kempe is like disgusting at hockey. So I was a little worried, but at the end of the day, like you just can't bet against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like they're the two best players in the world. Like the disparity between our stars and LA stars, it's just not fair. So
no.
And they weren't even the reason they won. It was our depth. And I don't know, Jim Hiller being an idiot.
Are you any little bit nervous for the next series, or you think it's kind of a cakewalk?
Of course, yeah. This is the exact same thing or same like setup as 2 years ago. Leafs against Panthers, Oilers against the Knights. I think 2 years ago they're like, oh, maybe it's like a Leafs Oilers Cup final. Again, worst nightmare. Don't want that to happen. Would hate it. I'd have to move and just like shut off my phone for 2 weeks. So I think they're going to beat them. I think it won't be in 5. That was a little ballsy. But I think it'll be in 6. I think we'll probably go take 2 in Vegas, split at home, and then finish job.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Edmonton. Oh, go ahead.
They look good.
And in the Minnesota series, I thought Minnesota outplayed them in almost every single game.
Man,
and like Hill played good in Game 6, a closing out game. But like, if Minnesota was so close of winning that game in Game 4, going up 3-1, and then they just kind of stupid mistakes. Zeev Bouillon took that 4-minute penalty. It's like I thought every game, even Game 5 and Game 6, which Vegas won, I thought Minnesota was the better team. And like Pietrangelo and Hanifin aren't playing well. Hill's streaky. Eichel's starting to find his game after the first half of the series. He was not playing well, and Stone. But, I mean, Edmonton's buzzing at the right moment. Evander Kane's going to be probably your biggest X factor that series, in my opinion, with kind of the toughness he can bring. And Frederic, too. I thought Frederic had a big Game 6 as well, and that depth like you're talking about. So those guys are going to be huge to kind of match the playing style that Vegas plays.
So you want to hear this is my hot take on who the dark horse is going to be? It's going to be Trent Frederic. He got better every single game. I as much as you probably hated him as a Leaf fan, he was like always scoring big time goals. So I could see him doing that against Vegas now that he's like feeling better. And they have 4 lines that they like. So we'll see what happens. But if Minnesota's stars like put up the numbers that they did, Connor McDavid and Draisaitl are just gonna feast. I'm sorry. Like we can have shaky goalies because we have 2 of the top 3 players in the world, and we just like can play 7-6 games. But you can't do that against us. We'll kill you.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's just lead is safe. If it's 3-0, 4-1, like I'm not. If you're Vegas, like you're not comfortable. Like we saw what happened in LA in Game 1 or game whatever it was when they came back down 5-2, 5-1, whatever the fuck it was, right? So. I have Edmonton in 6. I have them winning at home. I think they're gonna go 1-1 on the road here. Then it's gonna go. I think both the home splits they're gonna split, and then Game 5 Edmonton's gonna steal one at home in Game 5. Then Edmonton's gonna get the job done in Game 6. That's my prediction.
Yeah, close it out. Yeah, I can see that. Like if you look at their last 4 series, going back to the first round against LA, they've been down bad in all those series. Like against Vancouver. Down 3-2, obviously, having to win 2 to advance. Against Dallas, down 2-1 and down 2-0 early, and came back. Like, I don't know. For some reason, they just never play a simple game. And what you're saying about like Vegas going up 4-1, the same thing goes if Edmonton's up 4-1. Like we can't preserve anything.
Yeah. No,
So
I agree. And,
it'll be a good series.
Yeah, it will. And have you ever had such a love-hate relationship with a player like Evan Bouchard has with
Connor
you?
McDavid? Oh.
Like Evan Bouchard is
Yeah.
the streakiest player in the NHL. Like there's one day where he's getting walked and he looks like a pylon. There's other games where he scores 2 goals that tie it late in the fucking third period. What's your relationship like with this type of guy? An
Those are
80-point
typically
defenseman, one of the best playoff point defensemen we have ever seen. Like his points per game is like up there with like Paul Coffey, his defenseman coach. Like what's your
two,
relationship like?
Yeah. Like you're saying from one game to the next, it's usually like the first half of the game to the second half of the game, like game 4 or whatever it was. But I don't know what they're gonna do. Like you have to sign him, but like you just kind of have to take it at this point. We need Ekholm back. That's where it kind of like levels out a bit. We have like Darnell Nurse is probably making the same moves, or Jake Woolman. Like we need Ekholm back if we're gonna make it to the finals.
You really do. I think you could sneak out another round without Ekholm. Like, is he for sure done for this whole round?
Yeah, I think Rashad said he's like for sure done. The team said he's done. But third round, I think he'll come back. I don't know. It's just like you need all your D. Like playoff takes a lot out of you, and
for sure.
They're gonna play Dallas if they win. There's no way.
Yeah.
Winnipeg wins that series.
Yeah, no. While we're here, I mean, me and Jax are going to break down the other series, but what are your predictions for the rest of round 2? So what do you got at Dallas, Winnipeg?
So I was listening to a lot of hockey podcasts today. It's Dallas. It's got to be Dallas. Like Dallas is going to get both Heiskanen and Robertson back this series.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And I thought Colorado, like with all the moves they made,
was my favorite.
Surprised
they're my cup team. Yeah, I have Dallas in 5.
And Winnipeg's getting more and more injured.
Colorado usually broke like over half of the brackets for people's Stanley Cup brackets.
I know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They had almost everyone had them going to the cup.
Yeah, that's where the seeding is stupid. Like those two teams should not have to play each other round 1. It happened last year. Vegas, what was it? Vegas, Dallas first round. I went 7.
Round 1. Yeah,
that's a lot.
What do you got for the series that probably no one? I think it's at the bottom of everyone's kind of watch list for Washington, Carolina. What do you think about that one?
I think Carolina probably. I don't know. It depends. Like Washington, if they really like settled in against Montreal, but Montreal had them on the ropes for the first 3 games. If Carolina can do a bit of that, then like this series could be pretty quick. But I think if Washington wins, it'll go the distance. If Carolina wins, it could be done in like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I agree. All right, then the boys, the Buds, the underdogs. I think they're the underdogs. Definitely, I think
they're the biggest underdogs in any round 2 series.
Yeah, I mean Sportsnet. I think 3 people out of the 20 people on Sportsnet had Leafs winning, and it was like Game 7. What do you? You can be honest. You can be honest. What are your thoughts?
You got to knock off the Cup champ, so obviously you're going to be got like Brad Marchand.
Yeah,
It's going to be a tough task. They're like best defense. Well, not best defenseman, but he does roids, so who knows what he's on too. He'll probably come Eldo Matthews right in the face around Game 1.
Yeah.
But I think the Panthers are going to win. But if Toronto can go like steamroll them Game 1 and be like, yeah, we can beat you, I could see the series changing a bit. But if Florida handles business like in Toronto, it's probably over pretty quick.
Yeah,
See,
I think
that's what I think. I think they got to split both the first 4 games. They got to split it, go 2-2, and then it's kind of up to anyone.
Yeah, they have to go back to Game 5, splitting both those home and away, going back to Game 5 tied 2-2. I mean, obviously there's a better case scenario than that, but I think that's ideal. Like you're in a good spot if you're Toronto. A lot of people think that Florida's probably going to go up 3-1 going into Game 5, but I just hope for a good series. I mean, like last time we chanted we want Florida, we got them, and we got fucking bent over. So I don't know about that. I mean, and this Florida team's probably 10 times better than what they were the first time we played. Like they got deeper, they got bigger, they got better. So yeah, we'll talk about our predictions later. But yeah.
One thing I wanted to say, I heard from, it was like Keith Yandel on the Spin Checklist podcast. He's like, the Leafs need like Marner, Matthews, like they need their like top 5 guys to like have the best series of their lives.
Yeah.
To win.
Yeah.
Whereas like Florida kind of just needs to do what they've done the last 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It happened. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll be cheering for the Leafs tonight. Like I want Florida out, to be honest. I do not want to have to play them again if we get that far.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think me and Jackson both agree. We're both Leaf fans, and after Leafs, it's probably Edmonton. After Edmonton, it's Winnipeg. Then I don't really care after that.
Give a fuck
I don't.
about the US teams. I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate Dallas one because of Jamie Benn and some of the veterans they have. Could care less about Carolina. I hope they never win again. I don't give a shit about them. And if Washington won, that would be kind of cool because of Ovechkin. But another team, I don't really care. And Vegas, fuck Vegas. I don't want Vegas to win again either. Fuck Vegas.
No, I do not want Vegas to win because I could see this going exactly how 2 years ago went. Like I could see like Vegas, Florida, Vegas crushes Florida. And
yeah.
Great, cool. So I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for having on. Any last words for Oilers fans?
Pick Vegas.
Sorry.
I don't know. Like just handle business. We're gonna win, and like I'd be surprised if it goes 6. Maybe we'll get a little bit more cocky come tomorrow when they play, but we'll see. I could also see them losing like 5-0 game 1 and be like, all right, like back to the drawing board, Stu and net. Like let's change some things up. So
is Pickard for sure starting game 1?
Picard, yeah, he'll be in. I mean, in case this is actually one more thing I wanted to say about this series. You look at like top to bottom, like we definitely have the star power. Defense, they definitely have. They have a really good decor. And then everyone just keeps saying goaltending, Vegas. And like, I don't want to discredit Aiden Hill because he's been there and done that. But he's got a lower save percentage than Calvin Pickard right now. Maybe they found their guy. Maybe we'll just ride 880 into the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes, sir. All right, Emerson.
All right.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you taming it down a bit. But yeah, hopefully they win round 1 or round 2. I would love it. I would love a Leafs Oilers final. I don't think I could see you for like a month, but
no, I would leave.
No.
I would leave. I'd turn off my phone. I'd change my number and do something until if the Oilers won. Then I would get my number back and come back home.
Yeah, if the Leafs won, then you'd probably just stay away.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for hopping on. It's good to see you. See ya. Well, that is Emerson Chamber again, the only guy in Southern Ontario who has Oilers in his email name. I'm not gonna say it out, but also probably the guy. Yeah, probably a guy who has the worst lighting in this podcasting history too. I'm gonna tell him about that. That was the worst. I could barely see his face, but that's okay.
I want to say worse lighting and maybe worse sound when his phone went off.
He literally just texted me saying, "Sorry about that light the whole podcast."
His phone went off. I had to quickly turn my fucking computer down.
I heard like a fucking siren that went off. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Anyway, I didn't give my prediction. I have Vegas, or not Vegas. I have Edmonton in 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think I think we should just get into the predictions right now.
Well, do you want to talk about the past series and kind of just what the outcomes were, then quickly go into... We won't break it down too much. That'll take way too long. We're not spin chicklets, boys. We'll start off with Toronto. Like, fuck it. Start off in Toronto. We both said Leafs in 7. Leafs came up with a 3-0 lead. I would have been surprised, even going into Game 4, if they swept them. I was like, okay, like the Leafs aren't going to sweep. Ottawa, the city's buzzing. They're going to win 1, then we're going to win in Game 5. They win Game 5. I think we recorded the day after Game 4. Yeah, we did. And then we were like just a little shaky, but still a little confident going to Game 5. They lose Game 5. But then they get the job done Game 6. Classic Leafs fashion, just dominate early. Poppy got the power play goal, first power play goal in a series clinching game since Vietnam. Like we're like 0 for 30 in our last 30 chances. And a complete change up of a shot too. I don't know what the fuck 13. That was.
Quickly, I know we're nowhere near the NFL, and we don't really have any NFL news, but longtime Raven, Justin Tucker just got released. I
saw that.
Probably heading to Cleveland to hang out with Deshaun.
Massage boys. Yeah, no, I like that.
Anyway.
They open up their own parlor.
But no, yeah, I thought...
Yeah.
I think it was Steve Dangle going off about the Leafs, and like I've seen a lot of stuff recently about. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that.
Oh my god! Sorry, I saw a video of a video of a Blues fan reaction to the tying goal, and that was tough to watch. But yeah,
Oh my god, was it the guy falling on the ground?
yeah, like they got the long hair. Oh god, that's horrible. But yeah, game
Back to what I
six.
was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Steve Dangle came out and said something, and I've seen a lot of people say stuff about the Leafs and like how they're not a normal team.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with what he was saying in like the performance, especially in Game 5. Like Game 5, they got blown out at home 4-0. Pretty horrible.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's the playoffs. In Ottawa, as much as people were ragging on them,
They played
like,
good, man. They played good.
out of the Canadian teams, they're not even the worst Canadian team that was in the playoffs. Like, I think you would, even though I would say arguably that Montreal outplayed Washington in a lot of their games,
I agree.
I think you would argue that Montreal is probably the worst Canadian team.
Yeah.
But just like to have the wherewithal to be able to push through all the noise. Like, I love what Austin Matthews was saying. He's like, yeah, obviously there's a lot of outside noise. Like, we don't care about that. And all the players are going to say that. But yeah, it was just huge. And obviously I was at work during this Game 6, which was tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I took my break. So I was loading a truck, and I planned my break perfectly so I could watch the last 10 minutes of the third period. So I'm eating my lunch, and everyone else is now back out on the floor, so it's just me in the lunchroom. And so they score the tying goal, and as I'm going in to lunch, I hear they score the tying goal. And then I'm sitting there, I'm watching, and they score the third goal, and it was Max Pacioretty, and I went sprinting out of the lunchroom, sprinted, grabbed the crane box, and started hitting the buzzer so hard. And then once they won, I went sprinting back out, and I made everyone hit the buzzer on their cranes. But it was a good series. I don't think they can play like that.
No, they can't let off the gas. They can't, like, Ottawa, like, they just couldn't bear down a lot of plays. Like, I think Stützle really impressed me. I thought he flew. His zone entries were insane. Like, he flew down, but he couldn't bury the puck. Like, Stützle, like, there's a lot of times where he needed to bear down Stützle, and he really couldn't. Like, in Game 6, I think he had one cross creaser. It was a tough angle, but he really could have put some meat on that one. But yeah, you said his name. I think Jake Sanderson was their MVP. I know Brady Tkachuk really brought the energy and kind of, I mean, he scored some big goals too, but Jake Sanderson, dude, he was unbelievable.
For a captain, I think Matthews and Tkachuk played the first round as like captains of a hockey team because you get eyes on you more and more. But captains of a hockey team, I think the two of them played phenomenal as captains.
Yeah,
Matthews especially, like his two-way play was unbelievable.
Insane, yeah.
Like I saw a lot of people ragging on him, and you could say that he, like, Game 4 and 5, he wasn't great. But even just like the small things that he did of how quickly he was able to get back, it really, really was impressive. But yeah, I don't know. They really need to bear down and go hard against Florida, especially tonight. Like, Florida's going to come in hot.
Yeah. Yes. Kudos to Ottawa fans. I mean, I've been beefing them this whole time, but honestly, at the end of the day, we actually made amends, and like I don't think this is gonna be the last time these two teams are gonna play in the close future. Kachuk's gonna get better and better. Sanderson looked unbelievable. He played like 30 minutes, didn't even look tired at times. Like, he looked awesome.
Who they just signed to, I think, a 2-year extension.
I just saw Matt
and Paulo.
Yeah, he looked insane too.
He looked good, man.
No, I was actually talking with an Ottawa fan. So their left side's pretty sick. You have Sanderson as your rock. Then you have Shabbat, who I think really turned it on that later half of the series. And then you have Clevin, who as your third left-handed shot guy, I think is insane. I think he really put the world on notice too. He's really good. Then you have Zub on the right side, who I thought was solid. Nothing crazy, but solid. Then you have Makapala, who's a really good guy. He's not going to get that top minutes, but he's a solid, 4th, 5th, 6th type guy. But then that's kind of where it drops off as your 6th guy. I don't even know who your 6th guy is. I forget who it is. Oh, Jensen, who had a tough series. He did not look good. But no, if they can get a guy like I heard people like Rasmus Anderson on that right side, that'd be scary. Omar, like people say he stole that game in game 4, I think it was, or game 5. I don't think, even though I think we let in shots, I don't think we really tested him that much in game 5. I don't think he really stole anything.
A lot. I went back and rewatched some of the game, and a lot of it was like Ullmark played great, especially in game 4 and game 5. He played really good. I'm not saying he didn't, but a lot of the saves, it was more or less like it seemed theatrical almost. And obviously you're in the middle of a game, and I'm not saying that he wasn't trying. He obviously was trying, and he got a shutout in a playoff game, which is huge. That's, as a goalie, that's something you'd probably dream of. But I thought the better goalies of the two, like Stolarz, was unreal.
Yeah, I thought he was head and shoulders way better than Ullmark. And people could say bias, obviously, like I think some games Ullmark or Stolarz maybe let in like 1 or 2 stinkers, like maybe that one Tkachuk goal in game 2 or game 3 we walked in and shot it. Sure, it was a good shot. The Perron goal, he even said he got too horny and he poke checked. That's hilarious. A tough play, but I mean, like, it's crazy how players, they try and do that. Like, that wasn't a fluke by Perron. He tried to do that. He tried to do that. And Stolarz knew that. But end of the day, Stolarz official game 1 starter. No shocker there. I think he wants, not revenge on his old team. He wants a cup with them. But there's a few Florida players who, they know what this team means. I think they hopefully give some secrets out to win. But quick recap of the Florida-Tampa Bay. I said Tampa Bay in 7. You said Florida in 7. This Florida team made Tampa look like a complete fucking joke. Tampa looked like a completely different team. I don't know what happened to Kucherov. When Tampa Bay went on their runs with the 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row, he never won a Conn Smythe, but he arguably should have. He had 30 points in almost each of those runs. And now he hasn't scored a playoff goal. I think it's like 13 or 15 something games. Like, this time with the most dynamic, best wingers in the entire NHL. It's just, some of these games, he didn't look like he was in the game. He didn't look like he was in it. He didn't look like he was carrying. And that also, not to be disrespectful towards Florida, I think Florida also shut them down too, but I just think Tampa didn't play well. That's why when people are like counting out Toronto against Florida, it's like, oh, like you should have beat Ottawa very handily. It's like, hey, like, first off, yes, Florida killed Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay played like shit. They played horrendous. I think Toronto would have beat them in 5 games as well. They played horrendous. And Ottawa played good. Like, I think they played good in the games. Like, Brady Tkachuk put his team on his back, and he led them to games 4 and 5. He wasn't their best player, but I mean, emotionally, he led them through those games.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And, like, Tampa played like shit. So I think this is going to be a tough test for Florida as well. I don't think they're going to expecting to come back because our core 4 is playing well. Nylander 3 points on his fucking birthday to seal it.
Our fourth
Scott Lofton with the biggest block of the season. Holy shit.
Dude, our fourth line is nice. I love our fourth line.
Yeah,
right
I think our bottom 9 is, I mean, obviously you can say the core 4 or core 5 with Nyes. Obviously is an X factor too, but really it's our depth. Florida has insane depth. Having that third line of like Marchand and Luosterainen, right? Like, we need Bob McMahon, who had a really good game 6. I thought his first half of the series he was shit.
That's what they were saying.
I think
today.
he really needs to
Berube
pick it
to
up.
McMahon and Dobie today, and Berube even said he was like, I think he found kind of his stride in game 6.
I think he was skating. I think he was playing well. I want to briefly talk about the Ekblad suspension. So he's not playing tonight, which is why it's an even bigger one to steal. Probably their best defenseman, tough as nails. I thought that. I mean, he got 2 games, right?
2 games, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. I don't know what he was thinking. Florida fans saying, "Oh, like
I think
maybe 1 the max." I think that was such a dirty play. He went full on elbow straight into his head.
Yeah, I think it's more than fair, and I think as well. Like, I think we talked a ton about the Hagel hit. Like, the Hagel hit was definitely dirty. This was clear cut, like cut and dry. No. The puck was.
There's no because like in the Hagel and the Tkachuk play, they're both hitting a guy. Like you're allowed contact in it. So that play was obviously excessive, and it was one was late, and the guy didn't even like have the puck. Right, so they were both late, obviously. But this one, there's no play ever where you lean in like that.
No,
like that. There's no play that leads that. And like obviously in the Tkachuk and and Hagel hit, you're hitting a guy. So that's a hockey play. Obviously, it was late and everything like that didn't turn into that. But there's never a time where it's ever justifiable to go like that.
No.
So I think two games was very fair, and it sucks that Hagel was out. And he was almost like emotional in his press conference.
Not having Hagel is huge because he's ever since Four Nations he's been humming.
He's been awesome, and so Florida in 5. I had Tampa in 7. I got I think Whitney and Biz both had Tampa in 7 as well, and you had Florida in 7. So
Florida in 7, yeah.
So this series, I'm saying Toronto in 7. I feel like if they're gonna win this series, I don't think Toronto can win this series on the road in Game 6. I know they just did that, but Florida's different than Ottawa. I think if Toronto wins this series, it's going to have to be Game 7. And I would love a Game 7 win. I can't remember the last time Toronto has won a Game 7. I'm pretty sure it was against Ottawa in 2004. So I have Toronto in 7 games. Realistically, in my heart, it's more of my heart choice, Toronto. Realistically, most likely Florida is the actual pick. But say about my guns, I'm saying Toronto in 7.
I'm going Toronto in 6. Fuck them.
Go Buds. And
you know what? Winning at home is great and everything, but there is something to be said. I texted you the night that it was happening, and we already said, the Ottawa fans, you know what? Considering your arena's so far away, they showed up. Them chanting
I agree.
After
I agree.
Go Sens go. That's great. But I texted you and I said I want to see all these stupid fucks lose.
Yeah.
And cry.
I was gonna go on a rant. I was gonna go on a rant to say "fuck you, Ottawa fans." I know I just said it, but because I was beefing them all week. End of the day, good series. Even though the video I said of Brady Tkachuk is overrated, got a lot of comments. I still stand by what I said, but I do like Brady Tkachuk. He is the ultimate hockey player. Seeing him emotional, people think he's leaving. He's not fucking leaving.
I was wrong.
He was emotional. He's that city means a lot to him. He's not going anywhere. I still stand by what I said about him being overrated, but he definitely showed out, and he's a hell of a captain. He's definitely one of the best captains in the NHL.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Series again, pretty boring. Carolina, New Jersey. We both had Carolina in 5. Both the way it happened, right? New Jersey, I mean, they could have gone to 6 or 7. New Jersey had leads late in some of these games. They just choked it.
3-0 in think Game 3 or Game 4. You're up 3-0 and fucking I don't know. That's a series I just didn't care to watch.
No, I don't. After Game 5 loss, I made a reminder that just popped up on my phone, and it was because again I was so furious with the Leafs and I was ready to burn a jersey like I saw online. And it was, who would you honestly rather have, Sebastian Aho or Austin Matthews? I know that's a crazy thing to say, but if you think about it, he's over a point per game in the playoffs. He gets you 80 to 90 points every single year, Aho. He plays every game. And in 14 series clinching games, he has 11 goals in those games. I know, trust me, 70 goals. I'm backtracking on it now because Leafs won. Go Buds. But at that time, I was like, 70 goals, MVP, that's all awesome. Dude, 11 goals in 14 series clinching games.
That's crazy.
But Buds won, so I take that back. But I just got that reminder. But he is a very underrated player, and he is a gamer. And the fact that they got him at $8 million or $9 million a year, he's a stud for that team. And then the team they're going to play, Washington, Montreal. This was a pretty exciting series. I was very intrigued in this series. I think we both I had Washington in 7, you had Washington in 6. They won in 5. This was awesome to watch just strictly because of Tom Wilson and Josh Anderson. That was a hell of a battle to watch. And that's why I love hockey. They wanted to kill each other. They fought in the bench. Then in the handshake line, a big old dap up. They probably talked for a minute afterwards. That's just, they know what it's about. They know that's what their job is to do. And dude, that fucking Tom Wilson hit on Carrier, people thought that was dirty too. No, he just got fucking blown. I mean, Tom Wilson's 6'4", 220, and Carrier's a smaller guy. He got fucking blown up. Fucking talking about dirty, and that changed the game. I think Montreal was up in that game, and then Washington came back.
I think that was game That was game 4.
That was game 4, and Montreal had a chance to tie the series.
Montreal was honestly like Montreal outplayed Washington that entire game until the third period, and then it was 5-2.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, yeah, and Montreal definitely impressed me. I mean, I don't know if you saw my TikTok. My Lion video is blowing up. It has like 20,000 views and like 200 comments for me saying Patrick Laine is the worst player in the NHL, which obviously is overreaction, but realistically for his actual talent he has and everything, like he just, and people are like, oh, he's playing hurt though. It's like, okay, well, just came out that Hedman played with a broken foot, and I didn't notice that at all.
Playoffs
exactly, and apparently his hand, what you know what his injury apparently was? A broken finger. I'm sorry. Hedman played phenomenal. At least I thought he did, and he played with a broken foot. It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, and most people agree with me. Like, I mean, Habs fans are ruthless. They're like just like Leafs fans. They're agreeing with me most of the time. But yeah,
I got quickly off hockey. I got roasted by my fiance and my dad for my Taylor Gooch take. My dad was like, "I agree with you, but you didn't need to be so goddamn aggressive."
I disagree. I don't think you were that aggressive.
To whoever the guy who said I had goofy teeth, like, come on, it's a low blow. It hurts. All right. Some people
I feel
didn't.
Bad too, because I thought he was talking about me, and you're like, Ryan, he's talking about me. I was like, oh, I didn't need to send you that then.
Dude, I was on the train to Toronto, and I showed Taylor, and she goes, "You do have goofy teeth." I was like, God damn. You know what? Some people didn't want braces growing up. All right?
Didn't need it. Didn't need that.
Didn't want it. Didn't need it. Top teeth are fine. We just don't talk about the bottoms.
That's all. We don't care about the bottoms.
Anyway.
But, yeah, Montreal is going to be good, too. That Atlantic division is going to be scary. I mean, it's going to be battled again in the playoffs. Nick Suzuki was awesome. Lane Hudson was on and off. Obviously, he had some points, but he definitely needs to develop his defensive side of the game. But he's going to be a hell of a player. He's going to get paid this offseason, too. He has one more year left, but he's extensions eligible July 1st. So I don't know what his contract's going to look like, a bridge deal or... I mean, honestly, where the cap is going, if you can get him at $9 million, I know that's crazy, but where the cap is going, if you get 8 by 9, I think that's a steal. I think that could be really good. Bad. But realistically, I think, honestly, you can probably push 10, if I'm being honest. Just where the cap is going, and he's fucking 20 years old, right? And he had like the third most points ever by a rookie defenseman. So, yeah, I think we brought Washington, Carolina up briefly with Emerson. We didn't talk about it much. I like Washington in this. I really like Washington. I don't know how the health on Anderson is. He just signed his extension. I think it was a 1 year, like $2.2 million deal. Good for him. But if Kochetkov plays, I have no confidence in Carolina. They're not a big team. They're fast as hell. But like Washington will just slow you down with their physicality, like they did with Montreal. I think Montreal's a faster team, but Washington just slowed them down with their physicality, their smart play. Like Strome's not fast. Ovechkin might be the slowest player in the league, but then obviously Wilson can fucking fly and he'll take your head off too. But I
got Washington in 6.
I have Washington in 5. I am not confident in Carolina, even though they beat the Devils in 5 games. They were down a lot of those games. I think if they did that against Washington is cleaning up that game. So I have Washington in 5. Logan Thompson's playing great hockey. It seemed like at one point his hockey career was done the way he was limping out of the fucking arena. Then he comes back and lets in only 2 goals the next game and dominates. It's just like, all right, like don't sell it too hard. Jesus. But yeah, I have, and with Protas back, like they're just a big team. Carolina, obviously, you have Jordan Stahl, your captain. He's a big guy, but he doesn't not really fast. Brent Burns is big, but you need him to kind of produce some offense too. So, yeah, I have Washington in 5. Heading to the Western Conference. Well, actually, well, breaking down, I forgot to say this. Florida is 3-1 this season against Toronto. Didn't need that. And Washington, Carolina is 2-2 this season. We're ahead to the Edmonton LA series, which I mean we kind of already broke down with Emerson. Have you listened to the last 2 Spin Chicklets episodes? So there's a big argument about if LA were frauds or they just choked, and only Murley is saying that they're frauds. I don't think they're frauds. I think they just choked. I think they're a good team. They just completely choked.
I think they just choked. I think
they had Edmonton right where they wanted them, and they changed their game plan. I don't know what describes choking more. So we both had LA in 7, like I said. Edmonton 1 in 6. They played Vegas. I think I said Vegas in 6. We already kind of gave our description on that. I don't think Vegas played very well against Minnesota. I think Minnesota has a great future. If they can re-sign Kaprizov to whatever the fuck he wants, like legitimately whatever he wants.
A lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
I thought that was going to be a series I wouldn't care about.
Let me tell you, that series was awesome.
It was sick. It sucks that some games started at 11, but like, for me. Dude, Kaprizov, that it did. Kaprizov, give him fucking whatever he wants next offseason. They're fine. I think they're going to be off the Suter and Parise buyout contract deals, which is unbelievable. That was like $7-8 million on their cap space for 2 players they weren't playing. Yeah, probably even more than that. So now you can get some players. It's a good market. I mean, I know they haven't really won dick, but I mean, they're a state of hockey. It's probably the most produced hockey players area in the United States, arguably. One, like either that and Boston's kind of number 1, 2 states or cities. So they have a good future. I'm excited for them. Zeev Buium had a good, I mean, he was on and off. Obviously, had that tough penalty, but I think he'll be a lot better next season. But yeah, I don't know. Even media are still saying Vegas are going to walk right over Edmonton. It's like they didn't play good against Minnesota. Edmonton's hot right now. Like if you say Vegas in 7, sure, that's completely fair. Yeah, Vegas in 6, but
I was really close. I didn't want to disrespect Emerson though. I was really close to saying Vegas in 7. I just think if it can all click, especially with Hanifin, Stone, like if they can get buzzing. I think it's different, but I don't know. I want Canadian teams to win, so but I think it goes 7. Like especially all these second round series, like Leafs, Florida, I believe goes 7 unless Florida just goes on a tear. Like I don't think as much as I love the Leafs and for as much as I think that like the core 4, core 5 would have to play out of the world and almost all of them be at over a point, maybe per game for us to be crazy good.
I agree.
Right? The Capital series, I think, is the one that we can see being a little bit lopsided. But yeah, I think most of the series goes 7.
Yeah. I have Edmonton 6. I just think they have revenge from 2 years ago. I don't know if people are so high on Vegas right now. They didn't play well in those games. They snuck them out. Minnesota kind of shot themselves in the foot at times.
You know what?
I have Edmonton in 6.
In playoff hockey a little bit, and any type of playoff, you kind of got to take advantage of when teams shoot themselves in the foot.
No, for sure. That's what championship teams do, and that's how they won 2 years ago, right?
But
so I agree.
Look at what fucking St. Louis did yesterday. You have fucking 14 seconds, you have the puck up against the boards, it somehow comes out 1.6 seconds left, and then you go into double overtime and you fucking lose. I was certain with 2 minutes to go that St. Louis was going to win.
Yeah,
I thought Winnipeg, we was just transition over to Winnipeg St. Louis series. Hellebuck is going to win the Vezina.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy?
He got pulled in 2 games in a playoff series, and he let in over like the last 40 shots, let in 11 goals. And yeah, he played good yesterday, and especially come like the second, third period, he played good. The first goal yesterday, I don't think you could really say it's too much. Like, I think Morrissey probably should have played a little bit harder to one side or the other. It's tough, though. But the second goal was like, man, what are you doing?
It's Matthew Joseph, your fourth liner, who's a solid fourth liner, just walks in. I mean, it's a good shot, but it's like, okay, here's my grief with Hellebuck, and he's starting to piss me off. I love it as he's the American goalie, which I love. But at the same time, again, he's going to win his 3rd Vezina. He is the favorite right now to win the MVP, which we'll talk about the awards after this. Like, he's writing history, but he's already probably a Hall of Famer at this point. And he's had one good playoff run, maybe 1 or 2. And I don't know what it is. He's one of the best goalies in the league. His stats this year were unbelievable. I don't know if it's mental. Or at least it has to be mental. I don't get it. He's unbelievable. He's already a Hall of Famer. And he just shits the bed. And Sportsnet, and just they keep after every game. They're like, I know they can't be ragging on guys too much like we do, but it's just like they're like, oh, you can't really blame that one on Hellebuck. You can't really. Yes, you can find a little reason to blame someone else for a goal other than the goalie. I've done that in the past too. But at some point, your MVP, your best player, he has to steal a game. He has to make a big save.
At the end of the day, too, it's like, you have to be able, like, yeah, your teammates are gonna help you, but you have to help them too.
Like again, you're their best player. You're their MVP. You're probably gonna be the MVP. It's like, oh, like Sportsnet, like Kelly rudely be asking, like, oh, well, he was screened there. It was a deflection. It's like, okay, well, I've seen Bob make those saves. I've seen Ottinger make those saves. I've seen Stolars make those saves. Like, yes, some tips are just impossible. Like the one on Lowry last night in Game 7. Like, that went off two different guys. What can you do? But something like, oh, it's a screen. It's like, yeah, fight your way around the screen. That's what all the top goalies in the NHL do. And we're not goalie experts. Like, we're barely hockey experts. But it's just like you're their best player. You have to steal a game. You have to find a save. And it's just like, we can find excuses for every goal you let in. It's like, yeah, maybe you should have had that guy. Maybe you didn't take the pass too well. But you're the MVP. You're their best player. Fucking step up. You're gonna have. If you thought St. Louis was hard, you're probably playing the cup favorite now with getting their two fucking best players back. Like, grow up. Fuck you.
Yeah, you know it's tough too. I'm still taking Winnipeg.
You're fucking nuts. I'm taking Dallas in 5.
I'm taking Winnipeg in 7.
Again, Canadian team, like we said, like that's I will be cheering for them every game.
I'm not taking it if Scheifele can come back.
Which is no update on him.
Yeah, Kyle Connor's playing crazy. Really depends on Morrissey to me, but Cole.
He's
Perfetti,
more valuable than Scheifele in my opinion.
Perfetti,
like he was really good. That tip, dude, that first tip was a joke. That was a Crosby tip.
Yeah, I
made some money last night, dude.
It's so hard counting. I feel like at some point he's got to pull it together. At some point he's got to just become the Connor.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
And that's the thing is that
4 or 5 years in a row.
And that's the thing is that you're not going to believe it until it happens, and maybe it never happens. But I feel like at some point it's got to. And not the nice thing, but they get the 2 days off. They get a bit of a rest. That was a tough Game 7. It was big hitting Game 7.
Great game. Like, I mean, early 2 goals, and then Perfetti had that sick tip, and then St. Louis answered. I think it was Faxa. Then 2 minutes left. I mean, it was 3-1, 2 minutes, and then the Meskov scored. Who had to step up big and be the number one center, who is a very good player. He's not a number one center, but he definitely stepped up, and Adam Lowry stepped up as well. And then Perfetti tip. Dude, so do you see how much money I made last night? See my bet that I hit? Nice, dude. I've been mucking with the bets recently, so that was a big win.
And try to translate it to the bet the farm or the fuck.
Oh, I've won 2 locks of the week recently, back to back. What the fuck you talking about? But yeah,
what's your record? What's your record?
I think I'm just one below you, brother.
You're 3-13.
Could be. Yeah, and you're 4-12. Dallas Colorado series, probably the best series of all of these teams, I would say. I think some of those TSN guys are saying the best series they've ever seen. This was, I mean, Colorado was my cup favorite. I mean, like, they all cylinders go, all systems going. I mean, I think they won first game like 5-1 or something. And then Dallas just, again, like you said, at one point their time leading the series was like a minute, like under a minute, and they just kept finding ways to win. They got better and better. Ottinger kept getting more comfortable. And as Ottinger got comfortable, I think Blackwood got more uncomfortable. I think Game 6, he had a good Game 6. I'll give him that. Landeskog really looks like he didn't miss a beat. Like, he just came up right back into that top 6 again. I think at one point he even moved to the first power play. It looked awesome. Nichushkin didn't dominate as he has in the past in playoffs. Like last year, I think he had like 9 goals in 10 playoff games. But I don't. If you're Colorado, I don't know what you do from here. Especially, I mean, McKinnon even said it himself. He's like, they're missing their best forward, best defenseman. I don't know where we go from here. He's 0-3 or 0-5 in Game 7s. Pete DeBoer is 9-0, which is a joke. That's a stat to have. 9-0 in Game 7. That's a stat to have. But if you're Colorado, you gave up all your prospects this year. You're not in a great cap situation. You were fine because Landeskog was off your cap. Now he's back on it, making 7.5, which is he's worth it, 100%. But that's the thing you had to work around. Ooh, got to think about Makar extension next season. Like, it's
and a little scary.
They're in a tough spot. Obviously, the GM probably definitely doesn't regret anything this off because they just, I don't know. I can't even say they played bad. They took a penalty. And they just, again, like we said earlier, they shot themselves in the foot at times, and the better team capitalized.
Yeah.
Right?
Dallas just played well, and Mikko Rantanen had his revenge game. Well, revenge period. He has
like 11. He had 11 points his last 3 games.
Yeah. He had done nothing since getting to Dallas, and then the playoffs start, and he was just...
And that's why they got him. That's why in the past, like, people were like, his playoff numbers are insane. Were they cousin Mac? Like, yeah, I'm sure he helped a lot, but now, like, they went into the third period down 2-0, and he literally turned it on. Like, the first goal, just walked the middle, and then the nicest bar down snipe I've ever heard. Then the next goal, just walks around, and poor Gerard, he pulls a sick wraparound, but wasn't going near the net, and then it goes off Gerard's skating in. Tie 2-2. Drury takes that penalty, which was iffy at the time, but looking back at it, he did kind of tackle him. Game 7, a lot of times you can't let that go, but it is kind of a penalty. And then Duchesne the Wyatt Johnson. And then what are you going to do? Rant an open net or empty netter. Oh, and it's looking like it's Robertson and Heiskanen are going to be back. I think it's almost for sure. That's why I have Dallas in 5. Again, if Hellebuck can be regular season Hellebuck, then this is going 7. Because what's the season series? Winnipeg won the season series 3-1. And that's with Hellebuck playing top of his game. No Scheifele, no Morrissey. I can't see Winnipeg pushing this to game 6 if they're playing like the way they're playing right now. So I got Dallas in 5. Yeah, Winnipeg in 7. All right. So that's our predictions. Well, maybe I'll make another post for that. That was probably the best first round I've ever seen in NHL history. That was insane. Quick little awards run here. Awards are obviously until like the end of the season, but nominees are out. Hart Trophy, the MVP is Kucherov, Draisaitl, Hellebuck. I think the betting favorite is Connor Hellebuck. I think it goes Hellebuck, Draisaitl, then Kucherov. That's in my opinion. Vezina, Hellebuck, Kemper, and Vasilevsky. Hellebuck, just give it to him right now. Ted Lindsay, this one was a good one. Kucherov, McKinnon, Makar. So Ted Lindsay is the best player basically voted on by your peers, which arguably is the most valuable one because that's like what your peers, like what a fellow NHL who they think is the best player. I don't know. I can see it going to Makar, scoring 30 goals as a defenseman. I can see it going to Makar. All 3 guys are deserving. I mean, Kucherov led the league in points. McKinnon was right there too. So I think Makar too. Norris, Makar. I think if Hughes didn't get hurt, I think Hughes would have pushed more of it because he is just a tiny ass step below Makar. But I'm gonna go Makar, who's gonna win Norris. And then Zach Werenski, who had a phenomenal year, but he's probably going to finish 3rd in that race. The nominees for the Calder aren't released yet, and I'm very curious who the 3 are going to be because there's like 5 or 6 guys who it could be. Selke doesn't give me confidence as a Toronto fan, as 2 Florida Panthers are named nominees. Sam Reinhart, who I think he led the league in shorthanded goals, was up there in power play goals, and Alexander Barkov. He's like the current Bergeron, but probably better offensively. And Anthony Cirelli of Tampa Bay. This one's always hard to tell. I don't know who's going to win this one. Probably Barkov again. Yeah,
probably. I would say so.
Jack Adams, Scott Arniel, Winnipeg, Spencer Carberry, Washington, and Martin St. Louis, Montreal. This one's tough. I don't think St. Louis gets it. I think it's between Arniel and Carberry.
I think, yeah.
I got Carberry. I think a lot of people thought Washington was going to be like a bottom 5 team. And I still thought Winnipeg, even after last season, Winnipeg was so good to be good. So I'm gonna go. I would give it to Carberry, but I can see it any either way. Yeah, I briefly want to talk about before we get to draft lottery tonight. I'm very excited to see that go down. Let's just break down the odds right now. So San Jose has the best odds to win it. That actually happens in an hour or so. So San Jose has the number 1 odds at 18.5%. Chicago is second at 13.5%. Nashville started 11.5%, Philly 9.5%, Boston 8.5%, and so on and so on. I'm very excited for that. I'm excited for the NHL draft. See who gets the first pick. I think most teams will pick Matthew Schaefer first. Besides Chicago, I think Chicago will probably get forward because they need someone to play with Bedard. But we'll wait to see what happens there. Obviously, when this drops, we'll already know who wins. But fuck you. Before we kind of get away from hockey, because it's been a long podcast already. I want to talk about the Vancouver Canucks real quick. Who, again, my brother, I'm mad I didn't bring it up with Emerson because his brother is a big Vancouver Canucks fan as well, like my brother. I don't know what is going to happen with them. And I feel bad. Actually, I don't really feel bad for Quinn Hughes. He's going to make money real soon. But Jim Rutherford doesn't give a fuck. He'll tell you exactly what he's planning and exactly what he's doing. My brother's hated him ever since he's kind of got to Vancouver. He's one of the best defensemen, one of the best players in the world. For 2 more seasons, his contract expires same time as McDavid's does. And he basically even says press conference like, we want to be competitive for this guy. We don't want him to leave us.
Yeah.
He was arguably the MVP favorite before he got hurt. Like, he was one of them. And he's got a bargain of a contract. He only makes 7.5 for 2 more years. He's going to be making like 16 in 2 years, probably. And just the GM, he even said, like, yeah, we have 2 more years left of Quinn. Well, actually, like 1 year and 3/4, because if he doesn't want to sign, we maybe need to trade him. It's like, why are you saying this? Why are you saying all of this? We're all hockey fans. We understand the business. With Rantanen, with what happened to Rantanen, we understand what can happen. As a GM, you're not giving your team and your best player and hopeful, like, one of the best players in your franchise history already, a lot of confidence right now. And Rick Tocchet didn't want to be there. They were more than happy to retain his contract because he had a coach's option for the last year. He said he thought about it. He said no. There's clearly something there. The GM is just an old fuck who just doesn't know what he's doing anymore. And he even said like, oh, like Quinn's always wanted to play with his brothers. So it's my responsibility to bring Jack and Quinn here. It's like, why are you saying this? It's funny at one point, but at the same time, do you think your players appreciate what you're saying?
The Jerry Jones of the NHL.
Exactly 100%. That's what it is. He can't get his foot out of his fucking mouth. It's just I don't know. I feel bad for Vancouver fans. I feel bad for my brother. He has no idea what's going to happen. If you're Devils fans, you're just licking your chops. You're like, okay, well, we're probably getting Quinn Hughes in 2 years. But yeah, I want to quickly touch on that because that's a joke, and I feel it for Vancouver fans. I don't know. We briefly mentioned Justin Tucker. There's not really not much going on right now in the NFL. Let's get right to the PGA.
Cook, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I am so hungry.
Oh, I'm starving. I'm gonna have some tacos upstairs ready for me.
I'm going over to Taylor's parents' house, and I don't know what I'm getting, but I'm starved.
We'll feed you, big boy. Don't you worry. We're both hungry.
Yeah,
we'll skip the NFL. There's really nothing going on.
Let's just get into the fact that Scotty Scheffler went out and shot 32 under in a 72-hole tournament, and just unbelievable. And I didn't really watch any of it until Sunday when I got home from golf, and the 3 holes I watched, he par, bogey to finish.
Jesus Christ.
And
people are saying he was having a down year, but he's like, before this win, he was like 3rd in FedEx Cup ranking. So he's not really having a down year. He hasn't won yet. He fucking dominated.
Cook. He can't carry a
He just couldn't
van.
Yeah. He just couldn't putt. Like, his putting was just not the best.
That's
like, he was hitting every single green.
That has been every single time.
Yeah.
He is one of the best ball strikers, if not
Easily.
the best on the tour.
Easily.
And it's always his putting. And you know what? Like, him and Rory in a few weeks is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I'm so excited for the PGA. I can't wait for our bracket on that. You will get the first pick because I have the first pick this week. You will have the first pick for the PGA, and I had the first pick for the Masters. So I think we're all gonna know who our first 2 picks are gonna be. But we'll break it down. So I won this week because I had Scotty. So I'm 8-6. Scotty went 10 under, 8 under, 5 under, 8 under. Siwoo had a very good tournament as well. 4 under, 2 under, 4 under, 5 under. And Jordan Spieth, a guy who...
And Jordan Spieth played every single round together.
Yeah. Jordan Spieth, 2 under, 5 under, 4 under, 9 under. He played really good, especially because now all eyes are... With Rory completing the Grand Slam, all our eyes are on him. And he's dominated Quail Hall before, just cannot get the victory. I love Jordan Spieth. He's one of my favorite golfers, one of my favorite swings. I would love for him to win. Hopefully I can pick him up in our draft next week. But Yeah, you had Zalatoris who withdrew like the day before. I was gonna text you like, no, fuck you. You picked him. Pendrith got cut, and Burns was actually I think tied with Spieth in the top 5. So we had a great tournament too. But yeah, I am 8-6, and now it's the Truist Championship in Philly, and I have the first pick. And I am going to pick with the man himself, Rory McIlroy.
Now I gotta fucking look through the entire field to pick someone.
No, just dude, the link I sent you, you can literally click like the ranking and sort it by the best. I know like you want to pick someone different, but you literally can sort it by the ranking.
Give me Ludwig.
Ludwig. All right, I like that. I'll go golfers. Damn, Corey Connors is 8th right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go JT. He's coming off a win as well. I think that's just a simple
Give me Corey Connors.
Give me Maverick.
Hey, give me Akshay.
Akshay. All right. Yeah, I'm very excited for the PGA. I can't wait for that. All right, man. We're almost wrapping it up here. A couple segments.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But the
I don't really have anyone. I can't even think of anyone in my penalty box. Have you thought of anyone for that?
No, I'm good. Well, let's just send out some love this week. Taylor Gooch, I'm sorry.
No, fuck you, Taylor Gooch. No, that's stupid. Fuck you, Taylor Gooch. Fucking one PGA Tour win saying Rory has a fucking asterisk.
Me a little bit. Tough luck. Bet the farm?
Yeah, we'll bet the farm here.
All right, I've got hockey and basketball.
Ooh.
I've got Edmonton over Vegas tomorrow. I've got Washington over Carolina tomorrow. And I've got Dallas over Winnipeg, which does not go with me choosing Winnipeg. On Wednesday, I took the Leafs tonight. I got Marner a point, Matthews 3 shots on goal. I got OKC over the Nuggets, SGA 25-plus points, Nikola Jokic 20-plus points. I took the Cavs over the Pacers, the Warriors over the Timberwolves, and then I took Boston Celtics money line, Jason Tatum 20 points, Jaylen Brown 20 points, $2 to pay $738.
There you go. We're going to hit one of these. One of
them got to hit.
Yeah, so my bet the farm, I got Leafs money line, Marner, Matthews a point, Carolina money line, Stroman, Aho a point. I got Dallas money line, Kyle Connor, and Mikko Rantanen a point. And I got Vegas money line actually winning game 1. I think Vegas will win game 1 with McDavid and Draisaitl both getting a point. $1.68 to win $250. And my lock of the week, I've been hot 2 weeks in a row. Got to keep this going. My bets in general have been very hot. I got Mitchell Marner a point. On his birthday, just became a new dad. Huh? No. I
was about to say, we can't pad the statistics.
No. I'm just saying, birthday boy turned 28. Yeah. Happy birthday, Mitch. Love you. I'm sure you're listening. New dad. I got Matthew Nyes over a shot and a half. I think he's going to be an X factor too. He's going to have to cancel out Sam Bennett of the other series. He's going to have to play a bit nastier. And I think he's our X factor this series. And I got Anthony Stolarz over 25.5 shots. $10 to win 40.
I got Marner a point, Matthews 2 shots on goal, Kachuk 2 shots on goal. This hurts me to say, but I took Sam Reinhart to score a goal.
He always scores against Toronto.
Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, I can't. And then I got Sergei Bobrovsky over 22.5 saves, $10 to win out 90.
Yeah. I know. I always bet the saves on Stolarz. His saves are always so high, and I'm always like, fuck. Like 25.5 is a lot of saves.
It's a lot.
That's
but always is like at 30.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, not much else. So next time we talk, hopefully we're in a good spot. Hopefully we're in a good spot. We'll talk about maybe some draft rankings. I know don't know dick about any NHL draft prospects, so I'll take it away from there. We'll talk about the PGA Championship, which we're both fired up for. Definitely have a nice little draft for that. And yeah, hopefully some more NFL news, man. But it's good seeing you. Thanks to Emerson for hopping on.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having the best lighting
that
we saw. That was crazy. Yeah, best sound too. Well, it's good to see you, Jackson. Hopefully see you soon. And yeah, we'll talk later.
Good to talk to you too, brother. Cheers.
Fakes left, now taken